Libra scales, what's up? So here's your reading for mid-June. The contemplators that popped out were the Ace of Cups, the Five of Cups reversed, the Nine of Cups, and the Justice card. Popped out twice. Okay? The second time, and they were both upright, by the way. And the second time it like hit me in the chest and it fell on the floor and did a little twist, and yeah, so. And then after that, we had the Magician reversed. So let's keep those in mind. And let's see what's going on. And let's pray over the cards, and then we'll go ahead and see what's going on. Guardian angels of love and light, ancestors lost and known in the seas of time, please intercede into this reading to provide Libra with the clarity and direction as to which he or she seeks. And please grant me, the reader, the objectivity to read the cards and relay every single message as it's meant to be. Okay, we're just going to basically do the same thing as last time with the base and the clarifiers. Father God, please release Libra's first base card for mid-June 2017. Okay, Libra. So with the Magician reverse, you know that usually inclines that you are manifesting or trying to manifest what you're doing by communicating it instead of doing it behind the scenes, but nothing's popping up. Okay, see, there we go. Let's take him. We have the Three of Wands reverse. Okay. Father God, why is the Three of Wands in reverse here for Libra for mid-June 2017 regarding the current disposition? Why is the Three of Wands in reverse here? Here's the Two of Cups. And then we have the High Priestess reverse. Let's see. But guys, is there anything else that you would like to... Okay, all right. To release for the Three of Wands in reverse here. For Libra for mid-June 2017. Okay. We have the Lovers reverse. I don't know why Libra, but I just kind of figured it was going to be a little bit of a love reading this time. So that was going to be the, you know, like the center of the reading, I should say. Okay. Father God, what? Okay. Are there any clarifiers for the Two of Pentacles in reverse here for Libra this month? Okay, all right. So we have the Two of Pentacles reverse for the base, Libra. Then we have, I think this popped up first, yeah. We have the Four of Cups. Then we have, look at what we have. You again. Came out in your own reading, Libra. It's not necessarily a bad thing, you know. Just probably means that we have some things to discuss. Okay, the last card is the Ten of Wands reverse. I like to do Libra readings. As many of you, may know already, I'm a Libra ascendant. So I'm like a little shook when I have to do the Libra readings, but at the same time, they're very straightforward. Libra readings tend to be very, very straightforward like that. Let's see. Father God, what's crowning Libra for the current dispositions on the table at hand and for anything else that's in Libra's mind for mid-June 2017? Wants to come out. So, the Four of Pentacles, reverse. Father God, is there anything else that you'd like to release for what's crowning Libra, what's in Libra's mind? I don't think he wanted to come out right now. Okay, Temperance in reverse. Father God, anything else that you'd like to release for what's crowning Libra this month? This mid-month for June 2017. Okay. He wanted to pop out too. So wow, a lot of them. The Ace of Wands. Strength. We have the Four of Swords. The Page of Pentacles reversed. I think Gemini got this as well. The Page of Pentacles reversed. Wow, a lot of crowning card. Libra, there's a lot going on in your mind. Wow, there's a lot of cards. Okay. Then we have the Eight of Swords reverse. It's a lot of crowning cards. It's crazy. Like the good Lord says, ask and you shall receive, right? Okay. Now, Libra, give me a little second to just digest what's in your mind. Okay, let's see. So, Libra, we're coming into the reading with the Seven of Swords. Okay. So there may be some little deception going on. Not necessarily from you. Now let's see. Okay. I need to get into the habit of saying the cards in terms of like who we possibly be dealing with a little bit. Let's see. Right as we open up the reading. Okay. All right, Libra, so you could possibly be dealing with a Gemini. You could possibly be dealing with another Libra. You could be possibly dealing with a Leo. Also, maybe a Sagittarius, too. Okay? Okay. All right, let me go ahead and digest this a little bit. Sorry, Libra, let me just go ahead and like look over all this. Give me a little second here. Okay. So, I take back what I said about very straightforward. Okay, so we're going to start here. We're going to start here, right? So base, base, clarifiers for this base, clarifiers for this base. You come into the reading and one of your many thoughts that's going on here. Okay. So we're going to start here. And then as we start, I'm going to go ahead and incorporate these as well, into here. So Libra, are you feeling a little bit or a tad bit maybe not feeling like you can plan things, or maybe feeling like you can't implement maybe certain things that are going on in your life, or you can't implement certain plans, right? Okay, you can't gather your thoughts together. I mean, look at all that's going on here, right? But in terms of putting things together to make a plan, to implement a plan to move forward, I'm starting to really feel and pick up a lot of I don't want to say confusion, but a lot of maybe not knowing where to go or which direction to take, But with temperance in reverse here, we also have to remember, Libra, that we must make those proper decisions for ourselves, Because right in the center, I mean, of what's in your thoughts, you do have the strength card. So I do feel like there is somewhat of a strength within your mind, You do feel as though you can make these decisions, or that you do have like the groundedness of making the decision, But here we have the High Priestess in reverse with the Two of Cups, and we also have the Lovers reversed, okay? Now, I feel like concerning or regarding maybe, let me take this off, it's making noises. I feel like maybe regarding how you are feeling in terms of you, your partner, or maybe also with yourself as well. You may be dealing with, 1 second, Libra. Okay, so we're getting back to what we're saying. But I do feel, Libra, like I was saying about that maybe the direction as to which you are going in terms of planning the things that you want to plan, maybe not working out in your favor right now, right? Because you do have the Page of Pentacles right here in your mind or in your thoughts. So it's maybe saying that the way that you're going about applying this stability to your life, or applying the situations or the circumstances, I should say, applying it to your life, and in terms of how you want to manifest it, in terms of laying that foundation for yourself, maybe it's not really working out in your favor. But I do see strength here, so I do see that you do have some sort of understanding that maybe, you do need to remain strong in terms of how you want to do these things. And I do feel like you do stand in your conviction up to a certain point, Libra, but we have to remember to just be careful, of how we delegate it, or how we, pervade it into our space, and how we apply it to our situations. And we also have the Ace of Wands here, which is also kind of understanding or trying to come to a point where we can develop new ways of applying this creativity to our situation. But Temperance is here in reverse, so I believe that it's asking you and asking, the Holy Spirit's asking you to be mindful of how you're doing this, Be mindful of how the creativity is being applied, and how you are searching for the reason as to how you want to apply it to your situation, and how you want to add that to your infrastructure of stability within your life. And also the High Priestess here being here, maybe not trusting your intuition as much, or maybe not using it to the best of your abilities to maybe see what's there versus what's not there. Once again, going back to the Seven of Swords here, there may be some secrets being withheld, or just information. I hate to really use the word secret sometimes, because that usually has a pejorative connotation attached to it. It kind of has a feeling of negativity with it. But I feel like there's just information withheld. I mean, also, Libra, maybe with the High Priestess here in reverse, it could, I usually don't like to I shy away from predicting any kind of future events. But just from the cards here, I'm also picking up that maybe a pregnancy, maybe kind of you're not communicating this with your partner. So therefore, maybe you feel as though with the Two of Cups here that this can be a good thing and it can bring the union of two souls, you know. And maybe this is why you're going back and forth and you don't know how to plan this particular event or how to relay it to your partner, which is why maybe this is maybe the information that's being withheld. Because when the High Priestess is here, it can also signify, you know, pregnancy and the creation of life in a sense, you know. And with the Lovers in reverse, maybe your partner is kind of not understanding how you maybe are feeling or how you're going about this because the communication maybe isn't there. But I don't feel like this is with kind of deceit. I just feel like, you know, you don't know how to approach the situation given that the Three of Wands is here and given that the Seven of Swords is here as well, you know. But the Seven of Swords, like I was saying, does imply trying to get away with something. So, you know, this could be an issue. Not saying that it is. So if we move on to over here with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, you know, feeling like you can't really handle all the things that are being thrown at you, or you can't really, or you feeling like you can't handle the situations that are being presented to you, you know. And with the Four of Cups here, it's also maybe not looking at certain situations and seeing maybe seeing the bad maybe in the situation instead of what can come from the good of the situation. Also maybe focusing too much on the small little tiny details that then kind of distort or kind of apply a blindfold over your eyes in terms of seeing what's, you know, what's not there versus what is there. You know, that has a lot to do with the Four of Cups. But in the Robert Way deck, it clearly states and shows, let me see if I can look it up for you guys real quick, so you can kind of get a mental picture. Let's see. So if we look at, you know, the picture here, see how the man is looking at the cups at the bottom here, you know, and he's not realizing that there's a cup right there for him. But he's so focused on looking at the small details as to what's going on. Excuse me, Libra. And he's not seeing the larger picture as to what is there and how he can then apply this cup to this situation and seeing the overall picture of it. And not realizing that the universe, Holy Spirit, God does have your back in this situation, but you just need to have faith that something will come from the heavens or come down and deliver this to you and will support you fully. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, how I kind of feel like that's what's going on. And with Justice here, as well as with the Ten of Wands, you want to lay your wands down. You kind of are over the situation of maybe rushing at things, you know. Let's see. The Ten of Wands here. So you kind of are over fighting or carrying this burden, you know, that's on your back right now. Something that needs to be discussed or something that needs to be talked about. You know, maybe this is the information that's being withheld and maybe not trusting, you know, your intuition in terms of how to communicate this properly. Well, you know, we must remember, Libra, that, you know, we have to talk to people. We have to make sure that we are in full understanding of what is going on so that then we can communicate it with other people. Because then that's what leads to kind of discord, or it leads to disconcerting situations within a partnership or a relationship, you know. And with the Four of Swords here in your mind too, or in your thoughts, you maybe need to go into that moment of stillness and understand why this information is being withheld. You know, once again, general reading, apply it to your situation. This either could be happening to you, you could be doing this to someone else. And I don't feel like this is a bad thing. I just feel like there's not really, especially with the Three of Wands here, I feel like there's not really a solid direction. I feel like a lack of understanding, like I said, how to approach it and how to go about revealing this information, whatever the case may be. You know, it doesn't have to necessarily be a pregnancy. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that's, I just got that feeling. Normally, I don't say that with the High Priestess in reverse, but, you know, I'm just speaking in terms of what's coming to me, what's being delivered to me with the Holy Spirit, what's going on, and how I'm delivering the message. But going back to, you know, this little spread over here, little trifecta, I do feel like, you know, justice being here has a little bit or a lot to do with, are you going to lay your wands down, or are you going to just kind of just not carry this burden, or are you going to look at the bigger picture and see that which scale is heavier? You know, you don't want to fight, but then you don't want to look at the bigger picture. So it's kind of like you can't go back and forth with that. You're going to have to decide which one do you want. Do you want to maybe, now I'm going to say this, but do you want to continue to maybe lie to yourself in a sense? You know, be deceitful with yourself with the Seven of Swords here? Or do you want, the reason why I'm saying that's because justice is here in the middle. So I feel like this is the decision, you know? Do you want to then just not carry this burden any longer and just be truthful and maybe just say what it is that you feel you need to say? Or do you want to just continue to not look at the bigger picture and not take or understand that other good circumstances can come out of just being honest and relaying this information that you feel like you need to relay, which I feel like it is of vital importance. And also here, we have the Eight of Swords too, but it's in reverse in your thoughts, right? Excuse me. So, you know, the Eight of Swords, especially when it's upright, it's a moment of feeling trapped, but it's the illusion of being trapped. You know, it's thinking that you're trapped, but not really. But when it's in reverse, it's coming out of that period of feeling trapped. So that's what I'm saying. I kind of feel, Libra, that it has a lot to do with you feel strong, you know, but then at the same time, you kind of feel like you need to go into that moment of stillness, then to realize that you really are not maybe trapped, that there is a way out. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with honesty. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with the High Priestess as well, in terms of trusting your intuition and just saying this. Because you have to, I feel, Libra, with this spread right here, it has a lot to do with living in your truth, okay? And just saying what it is that you need to say and don't hold back, okay? I do agree with maybe with the Three of Wands here, excuse me, in terms of not knowing how to go about displaying this, or like I said, releasing this bit of information, because you do hope that good comes out of it with the Two of Cups here. You want the union of two souls, of course, you know, but we also have to remember, Libra, not saying anything has just as, you know, much of a detrimental impact than maybe saying something. And when I say that, I mean, when you don't say something, and then your partner, you know, with the Lovers in reverse here, your partner then will find out and say, well, why didn't you tell me? Why are you keeping that bit of information from me? Versus just saying something, and whether they'll take it positive or negative, you have a better chance of it actually happening in a positive manner than not saying anything, because then people then look at us as being possibly deceitful. And then that's when things can, thoughts and erosion of a relationship can then be conjured up. You know, and then people can then look at it in a negative aspect, which you can't really blame them for thinking that, because I mean, if you were in that situation, it was vice versa, and that person wasn't telling you information of the small things, kind of like the Four of Cups here, not knowing that what this person or you are looking at the Three Cups, when there's a cup floating, you know, from the heavens and coming down, but you not being aware that that cup is actually there because you're so focused, or this other person's so focused on what's in front of them. No, then they can maybe say, well, why didn't you tell me? I would have liked to know that that other cup was floating, but I don't know if you don't tell me. And when you feel like you have to withhold information or not say anything in terms of the small things, which I'm not saying that this is a small situation, but given of just the mere fact of not saying anything, then what about when the big, huge situations come about? I'm also picking up, Libra, that maybe this is the time for you to maybe live in your truth, like I said, and say this big situation that has to happen, because then the small little areas will then come together, they'll propagate, you know, and then you can find a solution with your partner possibly, if, you know, that's the case. If you're single, you can maybe apply this to any other situation, maybe withholding some information, maybe from a family member, from your parents, from maybe even from yourself, not wanting to admit certain things to yourself about certain aspects of yourself. And with justice here, I mean, you did come out in your own reading, but I feel like this is the decision that needs to be made. It's, okay, do we want to lay the wands down and not fight anymore, not carry this burden, or do we want to continue to carry the burden but not see what's really there? You understand? Like, that's what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, like I said, in your mind, I kind of feel, in your thoughts, you kind of do feel like the Four of Pentacles here is with also someone who withholds, someone who, you know, it usually implies money, but it can imply a situation as well. But when it's in reverse, it's no longer wanting to withhold that, right? But then I feel like, you know, with Temperance here, right next to it, directly next to it, like this, I kind of feel, you know, Libra, that this is kind of, you want to withhold the information, but you kind of know that that's not the right thing to do, and that's not the right way to go about it, you know? Which then, too, kind of corresponds with the Ace of Wands here, trying to communicate it and trying to find new ways of applying it to a relationship or to the circumstance, and trying to understand how the best way of going about it in terms of trying to say it, you know? Because, yeah, you do maybe feel like withholding this information and maybe reneging maybe on admitting it or saying anything. You feel like it does, you know, maybe add some strength to you, because, you know, it's like, okay, this is my truth and I'm going to hold it, and that's how it's going to be. Okay, that's fine. You know, but when other people are involved, you have to say it, and you have to let people know what's going on, Libra, so that they can then plan for the future, or they can plan for the circumstance to come about, instead of just laying it all on top of them at that one time, and then it being so abrupt, and then the why didn't you tell me, and all, you know, all the upheaval then kind of, you know, corresponds to you not saying anything or dumping it all on that person at that one time. Because I do feel like you have been thinking about this, Libra, and you have been in that moment of stillness and contemplation in terms of how you want to say this, and how you, like I said, I feel like I'm repeating myself a little bit, but I also feel, you know, like it's every time I look at each section of this spread here, I kind of feel like it's the same messages coming out, even with the Two of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. Not saying anything, not being confident in terms of how you want to handle it. And, you know, the Two of Pentacles with the Ten of Wands in reverse. You feel like you can't handle the situations that get thrown at you, but you want to kind of just lay your wands on and not carry this burden. Having to admit what's going on. You know, it's the same thing kind of being repeated over and over within the spread, no matter where I look. But I am glad that, you know, I do see the Strength card here. You know, and I do see that there is an element of trying to stay strong and trying to know how to, you know, apply the strength to your relationship and to apply the strength to your life, you know? So that's good. Okay, let's go and pull some advice cards, and then we'll go ahead and take it from there. I'm gonna move all this out of the way here. Okay. I'm just going to pull from the bottom of the deck. I did this with Gemini too. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So we have the Seven of Cups here. This is deciding, Libra. You know, making a decision on what it is that you want to make and how to go about doing it, you know. But with each decision comes its own set of obligations, comes its own set of how to, or the repercussions of the actions, whether that's positive or whether that's negative. You know, that's kind of how the Seven of Cups says, or what it speaks of and what it talks about and what it relays, the information, you know? Because the King of Cups is right here. You know, this is someone who's a master of their emotions. This is someone who understands that they need to apply emotion to their situation, and they need to know how to apply it so that it leaves an open line of communication in terms of how feelings are expressed and how they are talked about and how they are absorbed within the environment. You know, because then we have, look, the Queen of Swords right here. Someone who This can be, air energy as well, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, in terms of how she can create the environment where open communication can happen and how she can maintain this environment, most importantly, and how, like I said, it can be delegated within the environment. Because we have the Five of Swords right here, coming out of that feeling of not being maybe so honest, or coming out of the feeling of maybe, like I said, kind of withholding some bit of information. Also maybe coming out of a period where it's a battle not really won, where what's the point of the battle when you're the only one that's maybe winning from it, or when you're the only one that's only understanding of it, or maybe this is also a card of maybe being a little greedy. But when it's in reverse here, that means you're coming out of that period. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe I kind of feel like you do want to say this, and I do feel like you do want to relay this information, but just how? That's where we're trying to seek it, because you want to come out of a period of heartbreak. You don't want any more heartbreak within the situation. With the Three of Swords here in reverse. How are we going to come out of that period, though, Libra? It begins with being honest, It begins with being honest, but most importantly with yourself, because when you're honest with yourself, then you can be honest with other people. Then you won't come into the reading with the Seven of Swords, like we have here. You won't come into this kind of situation and to this reading, Because then we have the Three of Pentacles upright. I'm sorry, it's in reverse here. I apologize. Because this is actually allowing other people to come in. I'm sorry, when it's in reverse, it's not allowing situations to transpire in terms of working with people, not allowing people to come in and put their own implementation of maybe their feelings, or communicating things properly and maintaining that source. Communicating in terms of communicating their source and communicating their truth, as well with you. So sorry, this card up here. And also maybe as well with being honest about things and creating an environment where emotions can be expressed, where things can happen the way that they do. But, you want to have all those keys of success and have all those keys of trying to open up that moment of allowing people to enter their key into your situation to maybe turn it and see where it'll come out, and the situations that maybe transpire, and allowing other people to help you within this situation, because you never know unless you seek it and unless you actually ask for help, and then you actually inquire the help of other people. Then you can learn a lot about yourself and a lot about other people and how they operate, and what they can add to your stability, like the Page of Cups in reverse here. It's just trying to understand how you want to apply it. And also the Page of Cups is someone who's extremely slow as well. He's one of the slower pages. And he's also a person who kind of doesn't really want to understand life or how to apply stability, and is very just kind of arrogant when it comes to understanding the stability. Let's not do that, Libra. Let's be honest with other people, and let's see what they can offer, and they can offer some wisdom and some insight. But it all begins with being honest, and also trusting your intuition at the same time, with the High Priestess here in reverse, having to trust it because you know what you need to do. What are you going to decide to do it, though? That's the only thing, because if you look at the card upright, this is someone who has all the wisdom and who knows what to do in certain situations. She's sitting there with her hands on her legs, on her knees, knowing what to do. But you have to decide that that's who you want to be, and that's how you want to portray yourself. All right, Libra? Okay, I feel like that was all the messages. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So yeah, just be honest. Keep an open, honest communication with, or at least a line of open, honest communication, so that people then you can be perceived as someone of honesty, because then you don't want to be perceived as someone you're not, with when just not, being honest and withholding information. And, just do this the right way, okay? All right, Libra, we'll see you in July.